Good morning. Good morning. Coming in just a few minutes late, but guess what? I'm here. Hope everyone had a wonderful morning. My morning has started off fabulous. Take a moment to look at the poll. We're going to talk about embracing your strengths real quick. What are some of your strengths? And I already, I'm grateful for, real quick, grateful for, listen, just waking up this morning, being in my right mind. Good morning, Darlene. Let's talk about embracing our strengths. Oftentimes, when you've come out of relationship, whether it's abusive or just didn't work out, or either you may have had family members or somebody to just belittle you, berate you, and your self-esteem you has gotten low, and sometimes you fail to see your value and know your self-worth, and in doing that you forget that you have strengths. So what are some of your strengths? That's what we're going to talk about this morning. And in that poll, what are your strengths? Are your strengths resilience? Is your strength confidence? What else is it? Is your strength compassion? You're able to show you're showing compassion for other people regardless and in spite of, or your courage. Is that one of your strengths, that you're courageous? I can say that my core strength for me is resilience. Okay, because no matter the situation, I'm always bouncing back. Yeah, I have resilience. That's one of my strengths. Actually, all four of these are my strengths. All four of these are my strength: resilience, compassion. I would say compassion would be the last one, but resilience, confidence, and courage, and like I said, and confidence. I'm very confident in myself. And let's just be honest. At one point in my life, I had it, but didn't realize I had it. You know what I mean? I had to look at myself and reiterate what my true strength was, in spite of what I was going through, in spite of what people were saying about me. Tell you something. Yeah, I was like, Veronica, girl, you got the strength to get through this. Yeah, you crawling right now, but you keep crawling, because at some point you're gonna stand up. Girl, you're resilient. No matter how hard it is, you're gonna bounce back from this. Yeah, you gotta tell yourself that, and you gotta, when you start telling yourself that and you start believing it, you already have it. You just gotta believe that you have it. And you gotta hype your own self up. Hype me up. Hype me up. You gotta hype your own self up. When you embrace your strengths, it helps you reframe your self-image from inadequacy to one of empowerment. Good morning, Nikki. Oh, no worries with people. Come on through here, Nikki. That's right. Speak life over your situation. But in speaking life, Darlene, what are some of your strengths? What are your superpowers? I mean, yeah, we can speak life, but you still got to have something in you to speak life. So are you courageous enough to speak life? Do you have courage? Are you resilient? Are you confident enough to say, when I speak this over my life, that, you know what, I know it's going to happen? Because a lot of times, let's be real, we start speaking stuff and it don't even happen right then and there. Are you still going to believe that it's going to happen? That's that confidence. Do you have enough confidence? Do you have faith? Sometimes people say, I have faith. Listen, I was blessed with to have ridiculous faith. But then when it gets challenged, then you start to say, well, do I really have faith like that? Walk by faith and not by sight. So you're saying that one of your strengths is faith, embracing your faith. Because listen, that's one of mine. I can say faith is definitely one of mine. Why? Because when it wasn't nothing, literally nothing, I started speaking and believing. People would call me crazy, but I was seeing what I believed. That was one of my strengths, faith. Because let me tell you something, faith is a powerful thing to have. Because let me tell you, when all odds is up against you, when your back is up against the wall, if you and all you need is the faith of a mustard seed. But what if your faith was bigger than a mustard seed? It'll move mountains. A faithful mustard seed will move mountains. But just imagine if you have a faith the size of a quarter. If faith the size of a mustard seed will move mountains, what will happen if you have faith the size of a quarter? You know what I mean? I'm telling you. And you know the amount of size, you know the size of your faith when you're going through things and when you're challenged with something, when you have to really step out on nothing. Been there, done that. I was told when I was 20, in my early 20s, the elder people in the church was saying, used to always tell me, God have given you a large measure of faith because like the way you believe, I mean, I believe in him and I believe things, but not like you. And I was like, what? See, at the time, I didn't realize it. All I know is just that I'm speaking it and I'm believing it and it's going to happen. Y'all doing all right this morning? Another one of my strengths, like I said, let's talk about confidence. One of my strengths is confidence. I thought I had lost it one time. I did. Self-esteem low. Because look, let me be real transparent. When you're in a relationship, and your husband steps out on you and cheat on you with somebody else, you start comparing yourself like, because at one point, and I'm not ashamed to say it because this is my story, this is my truth, transparency moment. I used to think, I saw the person he was stepping out on me on, and I'm sitting up there thinking, wow, I'm too black because she was light skinned. Um, and at the time, my hair was like shoulder length. Her hair was longer than mine. I was just like finding everything that she had that I didn't have. I would use that against myself. And oftentimes, we blame ourselves like, what is it about me? And oftentimes, it's not about you. It's what's in that person that will make them want to not stay committed and step out on their vows. Good morning, Cleveland. We're talking about in strengths. What are some of your strengths? And we're embracing those things. So, in essence, I had to get out of that. I had to get out of, I'm too tall. I'm too skinny. I'm too black. My hair ain't long enough. My forehead is just, I had to get out of that. Because at the end of the day, even if my hair was lighter than that car I'm looking at right here, it's cream, he still would have did what he did, right? So I had to find my confidence. Nikki, let me give you some hearts. Let me put some hearts up here for that one. Let me go. Look, I had to put some hearts up there for that. Nikki dead on it. Listen, 100. Yes, indeed. Girl, I like you. Let me see. Darlene says, when I'm going through storms in life, let God take the wheel. You're beautifully, wonderfully made by God. Facts, 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 facts. But I'm going to tell you something, Darlene. Look, when that heart been broke, let's keep it 100. You don't be saying that. I didn't. I'm beautifully, wonderfully made. Like, what in the, what is it, Then when you come back to self, then that's when you start speaking, right? Been there, done that, right? We all have, girl. We all have. So I take the strengths that I have right? My confidence, my faith, my resilience, and use it to my advantage. I use it to my advantage. And I don't say I get up and like, oh, I'm resilient today. No, it's just this inner push that I have in myself, knowing that I'm confident in who I am, no matter who I step aside. But unstoppable, okay. So again, I have stepped in rooms to where I felt like, oh my God, looking at everybody else. And then quickly I shake myself and be like, listen, I belong here just like everybody else. And y'all know how when, you see like a celebrity or somebody like they be like, oh my God, oh my God. Mm-mm. You know what I do? Yeah, you should be wondering who I am. I do. I do. Let me give you a good example. I met I met I met Pauletta Washington, Denzel Washington's wife. When I tell y'all, this lady is so down to earth, she is cool, like just like me. And I didn't know who she was at first. And we just sitting there just talking, and we were at a play, we were just talking, and um, she was like, I really like you. And I looked at her, I was like, wow, you look familiar, but I'm still being me. After we left the play and we went out to dinner and everything, we drinking and talking and laughing and talking. And she would always say, like when she was referred to Denzel, she would say, my husband. And you know how we get to talking about the men, right? And so after we left the dinner, the young lady that I was with, she said, Veronica, you really don't know who you was talking to, do you? I'm like, no. Do they know who they was talking to? She was like, that's Miss Pauletta. I said, I know. She told me her name was Pauletta. She said, Pauletta Washington. I was like, okay. She said, Veronica, that was Denzel Washington's wife. I'm like, oh, snap. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God. But then I was like, she's just like me, just like me. So the next night, this is when I went to Europe, by the way. So the next night, we all met up again, went out to dinner. And I got to be honest, when I walked into the room, when I saw her, I got a little nervous. And I said to myself, girl, she just like you. And I sat down at the table and we started talking and was drinking wine and stuff. She's like, you know what? I really like you because you know what? You don't dim your light. I'm like, why should I? Why should I? I said, I'm a star just like everybody else. You see that? You see that? That's right. No, I may not, live in the hills of California or whatever, but look, God gave me a gift just like He gave you a gift, and we sitting here uplifting one another through our testimonies. Yeah, you be starstruck over me or who I am. Yep. Good morning, Terry. Good morning. Good morning. You have to know your worth. And a lot of times when we see people in what we think is in a better position than us, and some people may be in a better position than us, but know that everything is working for you like it should, and everything is going accordingly just like it should. Because at the end of the day, what's yours is yours, and you have to embrace your gifts. You have to embrace your strengths, because your strengths is what's going to make you be the better person, better than you are in that particular moment. Embracing your strength, your flaws and all. I was telling a guy the other day how after I had never put on a two-piece bikini before. Um, Never put on a two-piece. Y'all check out that poll and put your comments in the poll, please. And because I was embarrassed about my stretch marks, right? And we were going on vacation. We was going on a cruise. So I went to this tanning salon and I was like, listen, just tan my abdomen area because all these stretch marks, right? And I was in my mid 30s, late 30s, but before I ever wore a two-piece bathing suit because I was like ashamed of my body. Girl, let me tell y'all something what got me out of that. When I got to Florida, to South Beach, when I saw the women down there, and thank you for the thumbs up, embracing their bodies, no matter what it looked like to anybody else, they was wearing thong bikinis, they were wearing two-piece bikinis, and when I tell you they They wasn't hourglass shape. What? I said, look at me. Then went and had this paint sprayed on my body because I was embarrassed of these stretch marks. And then I was like, these stretch marks tells a story. These stretch marks that I have is a blessing because see, I'll give birth to two beautiful angels. Yeah, that's the story these stretch marks tell it. And from that day on, I've been wearing two pieces. How do you got barely keep clothes on now? I'm just saying. Absolutely. But see, when you're naive to the fact, right? And when you're looking at everybody else, right? Like, I don't look like that. I'm not supposed to look like that. I'm not supposed to look like nobody but V. Okay? Nobody but V. That's how I'm supposed to look like, just me. And embracing where I'm at and loving me just the way that I am. Look, guys, it's been wonderful talking to you guys this morning. And remember, embrace your strengths. Whatever your strengths are, embrace your strength. Embrace your strength. And let me take a look at these polls real quick. Okay, 50% says we all have unique. Okay, this is the question. We all have unique qualities that make us who we are. Which of these strengths do you resonate with? 50% resonate with resilience, being able to bounce back. 25% says compassion, and another 25% says confidence, and nobody says courage. Nobody has courage to face their fears. Well, you may have all four, or you may have three or two. I know I have all four, right? I have all four. So listen, guys, thank you for tuning in today. And thank you for watching my shorts. I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate the thumbs up. Continue to comment on my videos. Continue to share my videos. It's crazy how many shares I've got. Like, you guys really rock. I appreciate y'all. Like, really. God knows I do. So with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. And I'm going to post some more videos today. And I got some more motivational videos that I'm doing too. What do you guys think about those little shorts that I do with motivational? You see the one I was talking about, that tree? We all need to get watered. Come on, somebody. That's right. Listen, you all have a wonderful Tuesday. Be blessed. And listen, go put a smile on somebody's face today. All right? Y'all have a great day. I'll see you.